America. The name itself echoes around the world. It carries a certain weight, a specific image. For many, it is the land of dreams. It is a place where anything seems possible. This idea is powerful. It is broadcast through movies, music, and news. These portrayals often show a nation of boundless opportunity. They depict a society of freedom and prosperity. This image is carefully crafted, sometimes unconsciously. It becomes a beacon for people in distant lands, a symbol of hope and a better life. This global perception is not accidental. Decades of cultural exports have shaped it. Hollywood films show heroes overcoming odds. Popular songs sing of liberty and pursuit of happiness. News reports, even critical ones, often frame America as a central player. It is seen as a place where history is made. Foreigners absorb these messages from a young age. They build an idea of America in their minds. This idea is often grand, sometimes idealized. It is a picture painted with broad strokes of success and endless potential. This powerful allure draws countless individuals. They come from every corner of the globe. They seek education or new careers. Profound shock. Homelessness, for instance, is not unique to America. One of the most striking hidden truths is the vast economic inequality. America is home to immense wealth. It is also home to deep, persistent poverty. The contrast between these two extremes is often shocking to foreigners. In some cities, opulent skyscrapers cast shadows over encampments of the unhoused. Luxury cars glide past people struggling for their next meal. This visible chasm between the rich and the poor is a defining feature. It is a feature often downplayed in narratives of universal prosperity. It speaks volumes about the structure of the society. This disparity manifests in countless ways in daily life. Access to quality healthcare often depends on wealth. The best educational opportunities are frequently tied to affluent neighborhoods. Even life expectancy can differ dramatically based on income. Foreigners, especially those from nations with more robust social welfare systems, find this perplexing. They see a system that seems to amplify advantages for some. They see it creating significant disadvantages for others. The idea of equal opportunity feels strained when basic necessities are so unevenly distributed. These are not minor differences, they are fundamental. The perspectives of foreigners offer a unique lens. They see America with fresh eyes. They are unburdened by lifelong normalization of its complexities. Platforms like Quora and Reddit become spaces for these observations. Here, individuals share their experiences, often with surprising candor. One common refrain is the shock at the American healthcare system. A user from Europe might write, "I couldn't believe that a broken arm could lead to bankruptcy. In my country, healthcare is a right, not a privilege tied to employment or wealth." This highlights a fundamental difference in societal values. Another frequently discussed topic is the nature of social interaction. A Reddit user from Asia might comment, "Americans are incredibly friendly on the surface. They smile and make small talk, but it often feels superficial. It's hard to form deep, lasting connections. There's an underlying loneliness I didn't expect." This observation points to a paradox. A nation known for its outgoing nature can also be a place of isolation for some. Section 5. Persistent shadows, the unsettling truth of racial lines. For many foreigners, the depth and persistence of racial tensions in America are deeply unsettling. From afar, America is often portrayed as a melting pot, It is seen as a place where diverse cultures blend harmoniously. The reality, however, can be quite different. Newcomers may be surprised to witness subtle microaggressions. They might even see overt acts of discrimination. These experiences challenge the idealized image of a post-racial society. They reveal that the lines drawn by history remain starkly visible. The legacy of slavery and segregation casts a long shadow. While formal equality exists, systemic inequalities persist. Foreigners may observe disparities in housing, employment, and the justice system. These disparities often fall along racial lines. They might hear stories from colleagues or friends. These stories illustrate the daily burden of prejudice. It becomes clear that race continues to be a significant factor. It shapes experiences and opportunities in ways that are often invisible to the majority. This realization can be profoundly disillusioning. Understanding that the past is not truly past is a crucial lesson. Section 6. A nation's neglect, the surprising state of infrastructure. America's image as a global superpower often clashes with the state of its infrastructure. Newcomers, particularly from developed nations in Europe or Asia, are frequently surprised. They expect gleaming airports, high-speed trains, and perfectly maintained roads. Instead, they may find aging airports. They might encounter public transit systems that are underfunded or inefficient. Highways can be congested and in need of repair. This visible decay stands in stark contrast to the nation's wealth and technological prowess. It raises questions about national priorities. Examples of this neglect are widespread. In some major cities, subway systems are decades old. They suffer from frequent delays and breakdowns. Bridges that carry millions of vehicles daily are sometimes rated as structurally deficient. Access to high-speed internet, a modern necessity, can be unreliable or unaffordable in rural areas. This is not the picture of a cutting-edge nation that many foreigners hold. It suggests a period of underinvestment. It implies a focus on other areas, perhaps at the expense of these fundamental public goods. This crumbling foundation impacts daily life in tangible ways. Section 7. The price of dissent. Freedom's test in a land of protests. America proudly proclaims its commitment to freedom of speech. The right to protest is enshrined in its founding documents. Foreigners often admire this aspect of American society. They see it as a sign of a healthy democracy. People are allowed to voice their grievances. They can challenge authority without fear of severe reprisal, at least in theory. This freedom is a powerful symbol. It attracts those who have lived under more repressive regimes. It represents an ideal of open discourse and citizen engagement. However, the sheer volume and intensity of social protests can be startling to an outsider. From demonstrations against police brutality to rallies for climate action, the streets often echo with dissent. This constant state of agitation can be interpreted in two ways. On one hand, it shows that democratic rights are being exercised. On the other, it suggests deep and widespread discontent. If so many people feel the need to protest so frequently, what does that say about the state of the nation? Section 8. Finding Light. The unseen resilience of the American people. Despite the critiques and visible flaws, foreigners also encounter an undeniable spirit. This is the resilience of the American people. It is a quality often found in unexpected places. It is visible in communities banding together after a disaster. It is present in the tireless work of volunteers. It shines through in the everyday kindness of strangers. This resilience is not always loud or celebrated, but it forms a powerful undercurrent in American life. It is a source of hope amidst the challenges. Examples of this spirit are numerous. Local food banks run by volunteers work to combat hunger. Neighborhood groups organize to clean up parks or support struggling families. Individuals start grassroots movements to address social injustices. There is a strong tradition of civic engagement and philanthropy. Many Americans feel a deep responsibility to contribute to their communities. This proactive approach to problem solving is impressive. Section 9. Towards a Truer Union. Contemplating America's path to renewal. Acknowledging the hidden truths of America is essential. It is not an act of condemnation, it is an act of honest observation. Foreigners often see these truths with a clarity that can be illuminating. They see the beauty and the promise. They also see the flaws and the pain. The shining ideal of the American dream coexists with harsh realities. Economic inequality, racial tensions, and decaying infrastructure are not minor issues. They are significant challenges that demand attention and action. Ignoring them will not make them disappear. Real improvement requires more than individual effort. While personal resilience is admirable, systemic problems demand systemic solutions. Addressing wealth disparity requires changes in economic policy. Healing racial divides necessitates a deep commitment to justice and reconciliation. Rebuilding infrastructure demands significant public investment and political will. These are not simple fixes. They require a collective reevaluation of national priorities. They call for a renewed sense of shared responsibility for the common good. This is the difficult work ahead. Empathy and understanding are crucial in this journey.